Hi, Jane. Are you out right now?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you get me some sugar on your way back home? I guess Mom used it up this morning.
Sure, I'll get some for you. Anything else to get?
Do you mind getting me 3 cans of beer as well? And can you keep this a secret?
Okay, but you shouldn't feel guilty about it. I understand that you want to get drunk sometimes.
Well, I live with my parents-in-law. Plus, my husband doesn't drink at all, too.
True, he's a lightweight.
Mom and Dad don't drink much, too, so I feel sorry for drinking alone.
There's no need to feel sorry, Claire. They don't drink because they can't drink. I drink sometimes, too.
Yeah, it makes me glad when I see you drinking. But I don't think I see you going out for a drink often.
Yeah, I go out for a drink once a month, maybe. No, actually once in 2 months might be more accurate.
I can't go out to drink often because I'm married. But aren't you single, Jane? You should go out and play more often.
It's kind of embarrassing to say this, but it's too tiring for me to put makeup on every time before I go out.
I understand, but still.
You know I work from home, right? I'm really an introvert, and I honestly prefer staying at home. If my company hadn't called me over, I wouldn't be out now in the first place.
You wouldn't be able to meet your potential boyfriends if you don't go out.
I know. This is probably why I'm still single. I see you putting makeup on every day, even when you don't have plans to go out, Claire.
Of course I put makeup on every day. Isn't that normal for a lady? I can't imagine myself living my everyday life without any makeup on.
Hopefully I'll feel the same in the near future.
Jane, don't tell me that you go to the gym without any makeup on.
Yeah, I don't put any makeup on because it's close by. And it'll become messy anyways with sweat after working out.
No, Jane, you never know when you'll meet someone nice. You have to start putting makeup on from now on.
Maybe, if I don't forget.
Oh, Jane, you really should start thinking about your future.
Huh?
Are you going to live the rest of your life alone? What are you going to do after your parents pass away?
Don't worry, I wouldn't cause any trouble for you and my brother.
No, you don't understand. Marriage not always means happiness, but it would be hard to live alone with your career, Jane.
Well, it's certainly not a stable lifestyle. A self-employed person like me.
I don't think I'm in the position to judge, but you shouldn't depend on your parents too much.
You're right. I'm sorry to make you worry.
I'm glad you understand. I'm just worried, you know?
I do have a vague idea about my future, so don't worry. I might seem a bit sloppy, but I am saving money for my future.
That's nice to hear. And don't forget to get me some sugar on your way back home. Hey, Jane, have you done the laundry for me?
Yep, all done.
You didn't mix my laundry with the others, did you?
Yeah, I separated your laundry from ours, so don't worry.
Good. Also, get the food prep done so that I can cook dinner as soon as I get home.
Steak and mashed potatoes for dinner tonight?
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right, I'll be sure to prep the food. But honestly, I feel like I'm doing most of your chores recently. I think I'm doing all your chores for you this week.
Well, you stay at home, and it's not like you have a job. So I'm giving you housework to do. All the other family members are spoiling you too much, so I'm trying to provide you with some jobs to do.
I do work from home, but that doesn't mean I'm slacking off. Actually, I'm gonna get busier, so I don't think I can complete your chores instead of you from now on.
Be strict with yourself. You don't even earn much money from your job. You should at least help with chores and contribute to our family.
I think I bring a decent amount of money to the household, though.
I guess you believe it to be a decent amount. Even a child can earn more than you do. Aren't you embarrassed of yourself, living with your parents at your age?
I admit that I do depend on my parents sometimes, but I am taking responsibility as an independent adult.
You're definitely not independent enough. I'm embarrassed to have such an irresponsible sister-in-law. You should understand that you're an embarrassment to the family.
Excuse me? Did you just tell me that I'm an embarrassment? What did I ever do to you?
Your mother is really kind, but I overheard her the other day. I hope Jane finds someone nice to get together with. She wants you to leave the house, Jane.
Well, I knew that she was worried about me. But I've had discussions about this with my parents, and it's a private matter between me and my parents. So I honestly don't understand why you're so harsh on me.
I am your brother's bride, the only son's wife in this household, and I'm even living with my parents-in-law. I should have a say about family issues.
Yeah, but wasn't it you who wanted to live with our family?
You do understand that the younger generations nowadays don't have a lot of money to spend, right? I don't see any problems for us to live in your family's mansion where there's a lot of extra rooms.
We don't mind you living with us, but to make things clear, we never asked you to live with us.
Jane, are you even any use? I'm going to contribute to society by giving birth, but how about you, who's single? Living a sloppy life at your parents' house and bothering your parents? You seem to be an unproductive human being in society.
I'm certainly not married and don't have plans to give birth, but what makes you so frustrated about me?
I'm explicitly telling you this because no one words it clearly for you. I've asked my husband to tell you this, but he always says that you're very responsible. Everyone's definitely spoiling you too much.
If that's what everyone says, I think it means that I'm pretty responsible.
It's hard for them to criticize other family members. To sum it up, you should really understand your position in this household. You are no use in this household, Jane. At last, my husband, the only son of this family, will take over the family business.
I don't think so.
You're trying to take over the family business after all the trouble you caused for the family? Are you serious? Stop being so shameless. You're crazy. Did you know that? You should really understand that you're a useless parasite in this household. Jane, guess what I'm doing now?
Huh? I don't know. You were still at home when I left, right?
Yeah, I'm at home.
Mom and Dad are on vacation, and my brother's also on a business trip, so I guess you're relaxing at home?
Wrong. I'm cleaning your room, Jane.
Huh?
I'm packing your things so you can move out. Thank me later.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you're packing my stuff?
I decided that you should leave our house.
Huh? You decided without my consent? My parents and my brother are gonna panic if I leave without telling them.
I don't think they will. They'll probably thank me when they get home. Just leave and stop bothering your parents, Jane. My husband and I will be in charge from now on. We'll take good care of Mom and Dad, so don't worry.
All right. You really want to kick me out of the house, huh? Then I guess you'll have to pay $5,000 every month. If you can pay instead of me, I'll leave the house as you insist.
Uh-huh, $5,000?
Yep, the rent for this house.
Rent? Don't we own this house?
Nope, we are renting this house. We pay $5,000 every month for rental fees. My parents and my brother can't pay for our rent, so now that you're kicking me out, I assume that you'll cover for the rental fees?
Why? Why will I be paying for the rent?
That's because I'm in charge of paying the rental fees.
You're kidding. That's not funny, Jane. Oh, I get it. You're delusional and believe that you're the one who's paying the rent. Or are you trying to make things up so that you can stay in this house?
I'm actually paying the rent, though.
Stop it, Jane. Enough with the bluff. I knew you were a weirdo. No decent adult would depend on their parents and bother them at your age. Okay, I'll pay. Just leave the house already.
You said it. You'll regret it someday.
Claire, are you there? I know I'm selfish for saying this, but could you please come back home?
I assume you heard about the rent from my brother and parents?
Yes. They told me that you were indeed paying for the rental fees. I'm so sorry. I thought you didn't have a proper job.
Well, I never told you about my job. I didn't really mind being misunderstood by you, but I never expected to be kicked out of the house, though.
I am very sorry. I never thought you earned way more than my husband. I heard you earn money from stock investments and from many other businesses as well. I never thought you were such a talented person.
I'm not talented. It's just that I studied hard because I didn't want to go out and work.
Please, give me a chance to apologize for everything I did. Could you please come back home?
Well, I can go back to get the rest of my stuff I left at home. But I don't think I can bear living with you. Can you leave the house, Claire?
I'm so sorry, Jane. Please don't say that.
Claire, think about it. Do you remember all those insults and harsh words you said to me? I know that you weren't aware that I was supporting the household by paying the rent, but your attitude was really rude, Claire.
Yes, I'm very sorry for my rude attitude. If you had told me beforehand, I would have never done that to you, Jane.
Maybe I should have told you about my career. But I have my reasons. When people hear about the money I make, they start contacting me for their benefit. Even relatives try to take advantage of me. It's not like I didn't trust you, Claire. When you started living with our family, it had only been a year since you married my brother. So I was waiting for the right time to tell you.
I understand.
But after you started living with us, I noticed your change in attitude towards me. And you forced me to complete your chores for you, didn't you? So I decided that there's no need to tell someone so rude like you about my job. Plus, I knew that my parents and brother were telling you about me paying the rent.
I thought they were covering for you, so I never believed what they told me about you.
I don't look rich, do I? I usually only wear casual clothing, and I don't even buy stuff from famous brands. I stay at home all the time, so I understand you referring to me as a parasite living off my parents.
No, I never meant to say that.
But I don't think I depended too much on you or my parents to complete daily chores. I think I was pretty responsible about them, actually. You wanted me to leave the house considering your future baby, right? If I leave, there would be an extra room for the baby to use. My room was also the biggest room, so I understand.
No, Jane, I was genuinely worried about you.
I don't think so. I heard you complaining when my parents and my brother were away. If only Jane could leave, we'll have room for our newborn baby.
I'm so sorry. I was just being sarcastic. I'm very, very sorry, Jane.
I've been trying my best to maintain a good relationship with you, Claire. It was my bad that I didn't explain everything to you beforehand, but wasn't it you and my brother who asked if you can live with us in the first place?
Yes. I regret everything I did to you, Jane, so please don't kick us out of the house. I'll do anything for you. I'll be in charge of all the house chores. How about that?
Claire, I don't like it when people suddenly change their attitude. Like you said, I'm an unproductive human being who doesn't contribute to society.
No, that's not true at all. Considering your monthly earnings, I bet you're paying a lot of taxes, so I no longer think you're unproductive, believe me.
I believe you, and I accept your apologies, Claire. But I can't live with you anymore. Oh, by the way, my brother also told me that he would respect my decision.
No way! I don't want to leave this house. This is my ideal home.
I'm sorry, Claire. I don't think you can stay. I wish you and my brother the best of luck. If this is your ideal house, you could always rent something similar on your own.
But it's too sudden. My husband told me to go back to my parents' house for a while. He said he wanted some time to rethink about our relationship and our future.
Well, you kicked out your husband's sister, so his actions are understandable. I honestly think you deserve it, Claire.
If you don't forgive me, our relationship might end up in divorce.
I don't see a direct relation here. Your rude attitude and your action of kicking me out caused you to be in this situation right now. But your marriage issues are your and my brother's problem. I can't fix your relationship.
That's not true! If you can talk to my husband, he might view our relationship positively again and go back to when we were a nice, intimate couple.
I'm sorry, but no matter what you say, I won't take back what I said. When you just started living with us, you were respectful and kind. But then you started slacking off with housework, forcing me to complete your chores for you. And you never listened, even when my parents and your husband kindly tried to point out to you about your bad attitude. We don't need people who can't follow rules in this house.
I swear I'll become a better person.
Even if you did, I can't bear with you any longer. Honestly, you were the one who was dependent on your family. You should understand who really was the parasite to the family. After the incident, my brother kicked her out of the house, and she went back to her parents' house. At first, my brother wasn't planning to get a divorce. But when he showed her the new apartment the couple would live in, she threw a tantrum saying that she cannot bear to live in such a shabby house. So he chose to get a divorce. She was known to be a spender, and living with our family gave the couple some extra money to spend. But he seemed to have gotten tired with her spending habits that cannot be fixed even after he warned her not to spend too much money. Then she started pleading that she didn't want a divorce, and even visited our house crying, causing a scene in the house. My parents, annoyed with all the chaos she brought to the family, firmly rejected her plea, and my brother was able to successfully get a divorce. Our mansion seemed to be her ideal home where she always dreamed to live, so she had been uploading a lot of photos to her SNS accounts. My brother showed me her account where she had been continuing to upload her old photos taken in our house, and it was pretty creepy. She might be mentally ill right now, but I think she'll get better in the future when she runs out of photos to upload. Hopefully her obsession to our house fades, and I wish her a happy life away from our family. After the divorce, my brother started living alone, and he seems to enjoy his solo life away from his family. Living with our parents turned out to be a result of his wife's strong request, so he's currently enjoying his life to the fullest. I had a small chat with him when he visited us the other day, and he reflected that he learned a lot of things from his marriage with a bitter smile on his face. He also said that he was lucky to be able to discover his ex-wife's real personality at an early stage in his marriage. But the reason why his ex-wife became crazy was because I was single and lived with my parents. So I seriously thought about finding a partner for a while. But I realized that it's fate to meet the right person. It probably wouldn't turn out well if I pressured myself too much. I guess I'll try to go out more often and put some effort into meeting and interacting with new people.
Hey sis, are you there? I heard something was going on with you, but I'm glad that everything seems to have settled down now. I always knew that you were so nice, but I can't believe that you put yourself through all of that just for me. You really are too kind. Do you know that?
Tracy, I really wasn't doing what I did for your sake, you know. I broke off my engagement with my fiancé because I caught you two having an affair with each other.
Well, I know, but you were engaged to a CEO. You know that it's always been my dream to marry a rich man, right?
I don't even know what to say to something like that. Is that supposed to be an excuse?
Well, I've just always wanted to live like a spoiled princess, you know?
I really don't know. What in the world does that even mean in this day and age? Besides, where did a dream like this even come from? It isn't like we were horribly poor or fantastically rich growing up.
Well, I know, but that doesn't mean that I can't want to marry someone who is really rich, because if I did that, then I would never have to work another day in my life. And now I found that man after all this time. It really is like a real-life Cinderella story, isn't it?
I don't remember the scene in Cinderella where one of the ugly sisters steals her prince away. Are you sure we were watching the same movie growing up?
Oh, come on. You can't actually be mad at me for taking him for myself, right? Don't you know that all's fair in love and war? You just gotta get over this.
You think this is something someone can just get over? This isn't a toy or something that you stole from me this time. We aren't kids anymore.
You're right. We're adults, and I think that you're forgetting your place right now. I stole your fiancé from you, and that's a fact. You just need to accept the fact that you've been dumped for the better woman.
You think I've been dumped? Please, I wouldn't have taken Jerome back if he came begging for me to take him back.
I wonder if you have any idea just how pathetic and desperate you sound.
I really don't care what you have to say about this anymore. I am through with the both of you.
You really don't get it. You aren't the one calling the shots here. Jerome left you for me. Do you understand that? And it's because you weren't enough for him. He chose me over you because it's clear that I'm the better choice. And that's why we had an affair behind your back, because you couldn't make your fiancé happy and now he's left you.
I really don't care how you try and frame it. It is true that Jerome cheated on me and that's why we're not getting married. But do you see me crying and moaning over losing him?
Whatever, I just know that you've gotten better at hiding it now. But you've always been a little crybaby ever since we were little.
Now who's the one trying to act all tough? We both know that you were the one who would resort to tears right away. You're just trying to project your feelings onto me, but it's not going to work.
You think that I'm crying over getting your fiancé? As if. I think it's hilarious. I couldn't be happier about this. You have no idea how long it's been my dream to marry someone like a CEO and never have to work again. It's like my whole life has been leading to this moment.
You really have no idea what you're talking about, do you? But whatever, what's done is done.
Oh, come on! You can't just be taking it that easy. Can't you send me a message in all caps or shout at me over the phone or something at least?
I'm not going to do that, but you should know that Jerome is not a CEO.
What in the world are you talking about? Of course he's a CEO. He's the boss of the company that you work for, isn't that right?
Actually, we have joint management of the company, if you must know.
Hold on a second. What is that supposed to mean? How can you both manage the company?
Well, I actually started the company with my startup capital. Jerome just snuck his way up the ranks using connections of his. The company is, however, all mine.
This doesn't make any sense to me at all. What in the world are you talking about?
I mean that when we first met while working for different companies, I had just established mine, and as it grew, Jerome showed interest in helping out. Then we started to talk about getting married. After I got pregnant, the board insisted that I have a co-manager in case anything happened to me, and they selected Jerome.
So then, you two had the same job at the same time, but the company was really yours? But then, I don't get it. Are you telling me that you're also the CEO of a company?
I would say I'm more CEO than Jerome. After all, it was my money that began the company. And I'd double check about Jerome still being a CEO since he would have been fired by now.
Fired? What do you mean by that?
I mean that once the board found out that Jerome was cheating on me, they asked him to step down and began a full investigation into him. It turns out that he was using company money to take you out for meals and on dates. So the board had more than enough evidence to fire Jerome right then and there. In fact, I believe all of this happened last week.
Last week? Are you sure? He hasn't told me anything about any of this.
Well, you might want to go and try talking to him about some of this in that case.
But then, doesn't this mean that Jerome isn't even a CEO and that I won't actually be marrying a really rich guy?
That's what you're worried about? I tell you that Jerome was embezzling from the company, something he could go to jail for, and that's all you care about? You're just lucky the board already agreed not to press charges as long as Jerome pays the money back. Of course, we are prepared to press charges if that doesn't happen.
But I was supposed to live life like a princess. I thought I had stolen your man away from you with my charm and good looks. But now you're telling me that the man I stole from you doesn't even have a job?
Yeah, and I don't imagine he has much in the way of savings, given how lavishly Jerome likes to live.
But why didn't you say anything about this to me sooner? You should have warned me about him. Ugh, I never want to talk to you again.
Are you really saying that to me? Oh, that message isn't showing up as read. Well, okay then. Have a nice life, sis.
Hey Mabel, are you there? What the heck is the matter with you, huh? Why the heck did you have to go and tell your sister that I wasn't the CEO of our company anymore, huh?
First of all, it isn't our company. It's always been my company. Second of all, don't be upset just because I told my sister the truth. Not only about your job, but also all about how you were fired. After all, it's not like I ever promised that I wouldn't tell her.
You little... Don't you realize what you've done? Now she doesn't want to marry me anymore. You've messed up my whole life with this.
Oh, so you mean you've managed to fumble marrying 2 women now? You've really got to work on that, Jerome.
You would like to think so, wouldn't you? But it shows what you know.
And just what is that even supposed to mean, huh?
I mean that I wanted to see how you would react. The truth is that I talked to your sister and smoothed things out. So we're still going to be getting married.
And just what kind of lies did you have to tell her to get her to go along with that?
I told her that the reason I chose to step down from my position as CEO of our company is so that I can do and start my own company. And I've already been preparing for this for a long time. After all, I was the one who took our company to where it is today. I know all about how to raise a successful company from the ground up now.
You're really going to start a company all by yourself?
What? Like it's hard? I'm going to start a company and it's going to grow far beyond what you could ever imagine. I'll dominate the industry and become untouchable.
Well, you might know how to found a company, but that doesn't mean that you're any good as a manager. And I don't think you've ever shown any promise there anyways.
Are you kidding me? You're just jealous because I left you and our company to go start my own with my new woman.
You can't actually think that I'm jealous of either you or my sister, right? You realize how stupid you sound, don't you?
Whatever. You're the one who doesn't know what you're talking about. Tracy and I are going to live happily ever after while your company just crumbles without me. Just stay out of my way and never try to interfere with my life again.
I really don't care what you and my sister choose to do with your lives, but you do realize that you need capital to start a business, right? Do you have that kind of money? Because I know that you still owe me for the legal fees from your affair.
You think a genius like me needs to waste my brain power on small details like that? I have big plans, and when I tell them to the bank, they're going to have to give me my loan. And I'll get the loan and start my company and have everything up and running in 6 months.
6 months, huh? You really think you can handle doing all that in such little time? Well, in that case, I want you to pay me what you owe me right now.
This is why you always used to get on my nerves. The second you saw that I was going anywhere in life, you would always find a way to try and hold me back. Why can't you just be more like your sister and let me do whatever I want without making little comments on it?
If you've got a problem with constructive criticism now, just wait until you're in a boardroom meeting. Besides, you knew that I was like this when we first started dating. Did you really expect me to change?
You know, I never even wanted to be engaged to you. But I knew that it was the only way to hold on to my position and my power. But then I met your sister. And I realized I didn't have to sell my soul to live like this. What your sister and I have is true love. And it's going to give us the success we need.
Well, I really do hate to stomp on your dreams, but let's just hope that it's true love that you two have.
Of course it is! We've tied together and nothing is ever going to come between us.
Well, good luck with that. I just hope that you two can stay together long enough to be married.
You'll see. We'll prove you wrong! We'll prove everyone wrong! And then you'll realize that you should have never underestimated me. Just now that I'm never going to work with your company again. So when I'm dominating the industry, you'll have to struggle just to keep the lights on.
Well, you have to go found your own company and get it off the ground first, so good luck with that. And do hurry up and send me the money that you owe me, okay?
Oh, you'll just have to wait for that. But don't worry. Once I have all my success, I'll be sure to pay you back that money with interest. And then you'll realize that that's only a taste of the wealth I'll have. Then you'll see how wrong you were about me.
Hey there, Mabel. I just thought you should know Jerome and I moved in together. At first, I was worried about all the things you were telling me about him, like how he wasn't a real CEO or how he embezzled from the company. But then he finally started his own company. And now we've moved into an amazing condo, and we're the happiest that we've ever been. It's amazing.
You moved into a condo together with Jerome? Because I haven't even heard anything about him creating a new company.
Well, I suppose that's probably because Jerome just runs in different circles from you, doesn't he? This is where we're going to move into. He told me that he already paid for the condo and that they're just getting it ready for us.
Oh, wait a second. I think I recognize that view. Isn't that Mammoth Towers?
You mean even you've heard of this amazing luxury condo building?
Yeah, I have, actually. Do you know what room you're going to be living in?
And just why would I share that with you? Don't tell me that you're going to try to break in and try to steal Jerome away from me. Because you should know that the building has guards in it and someone like you won't be allowed in.
Right. Well, in that case, I guess you shouldn't worry about telling me the room number.
Ugh, whatever. If you must know, the room number is 2305.
So you're on the 23rd floor then?
That's right, we're almost at the very top of the building. I've never gotten to stay in a place so nice. We're finally going to have our happily ever after.
Well, it's just kind of funny because that's my unit.
Wait, what? What in the world are you talking about? Do you really think I'm going to buy a lie like that? You have to come up with something better.
I'm not kidding you at all. I own unit number 2305 in Mammoth Towers.
Oh, just stop it already. Jerome sent me that photo from his phone. He was inside the unit and everything. There's no way that you own the building that we're about to move into. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, yes, I'll say the interior does look like it's changed a lot. Although you should know that I got that unit because we bought it from Jerome's parents. But the building was under his dad's name for a while.
Well, now you're not making any sense at all. How can it be your unit if it's under Jerome's dad's name?
Okay, I guess I'll have to explain the whole thing then. So, that building was finished about a year ago. Around then, Jerome's dad thought to invest in the building company, thinking he would see some big returns. He bought a unit hoping to make a quick buck flipping it, but he wasn't able to pay for the whole thing. So then he came to me and asked me to buy it.
So then, you're telling me that you bought this unit from Jerome's dad who couldn't afford to get one himself?
Pretty much, yeah. But now that I look at this photo, I can see that this is from when Jerome's dad still took care of the place. And that's why it's so different from how I have the unit looking now.
But this can't be right. I mean, Jerome said that he and I would be moving in there. I already have my bags packed and everything.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, except that it's not Jerome's place to choose what to do with it.
How could you do this to us? What's the matter with you?
I didn't do anything. In fact, you were the one who said that you never wanted to talk to me again. So how is this all coming back onto me?
Because we're supposed to go and live in that big condo building. We were supposed to have our happily ever after there. Why do you always have to ruin things for me, Mabel? You're the worst sister ever.
Look, I know this is probably a lot for you to take right now, but you can't blame this on me.
But it's not just now. You've always stolen everything I wanted from me, even when we were little.
I didn't steal anything from you. In fact, you would always take from me. Whenever I tried to get it back, you would instantly start crying to get Mom and Dad on your side.
But it's not fair. I want to live in that big condo. It should be all mine.
Well, it was never yours nor Jerome's to begin with. A while ago, Jerome's dad needed money right away and offered to sell me the condo for the price he had put into it. I bought it and have been living there for a while. That's how I know that the interior looks different now. I don't know why Jerome thinks you two are moving in, but it's just not going to happen. If anything, I think that this is just one small part of a much larger lie that he's telling you. But this really isn't my problem anymore. Please don't bother me with stuff like this ever again. It turns out that when it was time to move, Jerome ended up taking my sister to go and move in with his parents. Apparently, they were in serious debt, and this was part of the plan to use Jerome and Tracy to pay off their debts. Tracy was messaging me, begging to help get her out of there, but I just read her texts and then blocked her number. She tried living with them for a couple of months, just hoping that this was all part of Jerome's plan to start his own company. Of course, he had never really even begun the process and was lying to Tracy this whole time about his intentions. I heard later from my parents that they ended up bailing out Tracy and rescuing her from her in-laws' house. Now, both my mom and dad are keeping a very close eye on Tracy and making sure she finds a job and learns some responsibility. As for me, life went on as normal. Nothing Jerome or Tracy did really ever had a chance to affect me. I told my parents that I wouldn't be doing anything to support my sister, and they understood and agreed with me.